choosing yourself doesn't mean neglecting others. It means including yourself into the circle of care. Welcome back to School of Shamanism. I'm Giada, and this is Season 1, Walking Between Worlds. In the last episode, in the Soul 1, we talked about fear and resistance, all the ways that we keep ourselves stuck, all the voices that tell us we are not ready, and what it takes to move through that as well. Today I want to go deeper into something that I touched on briefly, and I'm still struggling with that. And it's guilt. So the guilt of choosing yourself, which is one of the most powerful and most hidden forces that keeps people from stepping into their soul work. And I think it's time to address this also for myself, because every time I think I'm always need to mirror what I'm saying and what other people are coming to me with. So many of us, and I have to say probably especially women, but of course not only women, were raised to be good, to be helpful, to be responsible, at service, to take care of everyone else before ourselves. We learned that our value came from what we gave and from how useful we were to other people. We didn't have to cause very much trouble. So being the good girl, and of course I'm also the good boy, don't be selfish, think of others first, don't make a fuss. And so we built our lives around that. We became the reliable one, the one that everyone could count on, the one who always said yes, and the one who held it all together while probably quietly falling apart inside. And somewhere along the way, we forgot that we matter too. And I'm guilty for that. That our needs are valid, that our soul is worth nurturing. And so when we finally start to wake up, when we feel that pull towards something deeper, something more aligned, there is this immediate struggle in between the two worlds. Choosing yourself, that's selfish, or choosing others, which is what everyone have to do. So where does this guilt come from? Where is it something cultural? Because we live in societies that reward self-sacrifice, especially from certain people, especially in work. And again, I pass through that a lot. But also mothers who give everything to their children. As I said, employees who never say no. Partners who put their own dreams aside for the relationship. And maybe you grew up in a home where your needs weren't a priority, where you learn to stay small, to stay quiet, to stay out of the way, where taking up space meant conflict or rejection. And some of these things also come from traditional education, and from the religious point of view, where the ego is bad and wanting things for yourself is sinful, that true spirituality means complete selflessness. And some of it is just survival. So at some point, being good kept you safe. And it got you the approval from other people, from your family, the people around you, the belonging. And so your nervous system has also learned that. Don't put yourself first so that you can be at peace, so that you know you're doing the right thing. And then, of course, here is where the consequences are coming. Because then we remain in a trap and we constantly forget about ourselves. We constantly ignore our needs. And also this word, selfish, it seems already an accusation by the time we pronounce that, like the worst thing that you could possibly be, you know. And most of us will do everything to be considered selfish, but what does it mean? It means taking care of your own needs, honoring your own boundaries, making time for what nourishes your soul, which I had to learn myself, and sometimes I'm still struggle, but I'm much, much, much better than before. Placing my priorities in the time that I decide to be, in that day that I decide to be off in the weekend, taking hours around so that I can be fully recharged, and then I'm not running empty from an empty tank out of which I can't help anyone. So it's really an element of generosity, that element of being generous with ourselves, feeling full ourselves in order to be able to help other people, because as I said before, you can't pour from an empty vessel, and everyone says that. But how many of us actually live it? Because there are people who depend on you, for example, and you have responsibilities. Maybe you have children, maybe you have elderly parents, or you have a partner that for any reasons needs you. And of course, you can't just abandon them to go and find yourself, to go and be selfish. And you're right, it's not suggesting you to walk away from the people who depend on you. This is not what choosing yourself means. But choosing yourself doesn't mean neglecting others. It means including yourself into the circle of care. It means recognizes that you are also someone who deserves attention, who deserves rest, who deserves nourishment, that your needs are not less important than everyone else, and that you can delegate, that you can ask for help. Say no to things that actually take time from you, and you should concentrate on something else, and making a decision in time. Does these things enrich my soul when I'm saying yes or no? Does it have something to do with me when I'm saying yes or no? And sometimes, of course, we help just on the matter that it's nice helping others. But helping that person, is it something that I can have the pleasure, the luxury of doing because I have the time for that? Or I'm already full, and helping that person would mean then I have to struggle to finish my workload, what I'm doing in my life. So this is just, of course, a reminder that I'm also saying to myself, because I'm guilty, because I'm without the definition of who is guilty and who is not, because that's just a labeling of the mind. But in general, and then of course also maybe for your business, when you keep saying one day, this is something, for example, that I'm very good at. I never say one day. If I say I'm going to do it, I do it. Then it's just a matter of scheduled. But I've never procrastinated in work. I've always been a hard worker. So if in that case the business is yours, so you care more than when you're working for others, then the element of procrastinating, of course, is not respectful for yourself. It's not respectful for you, for your own wishes, for your own dream. And then, of course, we need to listen to our body, which sometimes has a way of forcing rest when we refuse to take it. And I had to learn that as well. Now I'm very strict in when I'm taking, as I said, my hours off around in the week, and then that religious day that I'm taking, which can also be moved, despite I decided 10 days ago, because I recognize that there are deadlines, but I'm going to make it. I'm going to treat it as any other appointment in my diary. So choosing yourself is not abandonment, is honoring yourself, because when you choose yourself, you're not abandoning anyone. You're actually becoming more available, because when you are depleted, resentful, running on fumes, how present are you really? How much patience do you have then to deal with others? How much love can you actually give? Not much. And you're just in a surviving mode, so going through the emotions. But when you have taken that time for yourself, when you have nourished your soul, when you have honored your own needs, then you show up in a different way. Then your energy is different. Then you are more patient. Then you are more loving, and more alive. Your children, of course, don't need a martyr. They need a mother who is connected to herself. Your partner doesn't need someone who is sacrificed everything. They need someone who is full. So the world doesn't need another burnout helper. And again, always talking to myself. But choosing yourself isn't selfish. It's probably the most generous thing that you can do.